Welcome back to Geek Variants. Moon Knight episode 1 is finally here. Let's get into it. What's going on, people? Here we are, Moon Knight episode 1 review. About to talk about what's been going on with Moon Knight and how the first episode went down. Glad to say I'm very happy with what we've got so far. So, again, let's break it down. Brent, what about you?
Well, there's a lot to talk about with this episode. I knew very little about Moon Knight other than our preview video that we already got up there. That's basically all I understood about Marc, Specter, and everything there is to do with that character. And I'm happy to say, I really loved episode 1. Oscar Isaac did a fantastic job of bringing this character to life. But I'm sure there's some points that you would like to bring up pertaining to this portrayal of Moon Knight.
So I love Oscar Isaac's portrayal. I think he played great to jump between the characters and really get a feel for it. They definitely took some liberties and stuff with how they wanted to do the story, which again, I'm cool with. The MCU. I don't mind something different. Stephen Grant, that's the main character that we see starting off as far as Moon Knight. And Stephen Grant is not the standard character that he is in the comics. In the comics, he's a billionaire playboy type deal that, rubs elbows with some of the high rollers. Whereas, other personalities such as Marc Specter are the mercenary personalities, which that is true to the character. But again, with this Stephen Grant, he seems to be living the life of, Lockley, one of his characters that's, a cab driver. This is one of the identities that he has associated with just kind of living in a basic place, a low-end job, so to speak. Nothing against cab drivers, but again, it's a big shift. We see him working at the museum instead of, having the access to the full tomb again, like in the comics. So there's some differences going on, but I like the way that it was set up. Like I said, it's simple. They're not kind of going over the top with it. You got this personality with Steven, you got this personality with Marc, and it seems like that's just how they're going to run it right now with the two. Maybe we'll get a little bit more later on down the line, especially with some of the clips that we see. So I think we're just going to get the 3 and the other personalities that, he has maybe referenced later on. But I think it's a good job with the character so far. As far as how the storyline is set up, and again, spoilers beware, they definitely have him doing his flip-flop throughout. You see the lights change, you see the flicker. It's real. It's a smooth transition. It definitely feels like time kind of starts to stop for him, and then we get him ramped up after the fact. And I love the fact that we don't see the in between. Like, I think it's a real nice technique that they're using just to show him going into the mode, and then you just see the aftermath. Really cool, great cinematography. Like, it just feels really, really nice with how they set it up. And I think that they've done that just because Moon Knight is a very brutal character. He's known for just, beating the crap out of people. So with having him, kind of skip out on some of that stuff, they don't have to show as much of it. You still understand the reference while still letting them have the show not be as, I guess, violent or gory or whatever the case may be with Moon Knight. So this first episode, I think they did a fantastic job, and I'm really happy to see what they got coming next.
I was going to say the whole scene with the car chase and all that was absolutely hilarious from start to finish. And just like you were talking about, it was switching in and out of personalities. And a lot of the times the darker personality would make side commentary. And you're just like, that's hilarious. I can't believe he said that. He's like, especially when they had the car going backwards down the hill. And he's like, am I driving backwards? And then he's like facing the people. And then he throws the gun. The other personality is like, did he really just throw the gun?
Well, Konshu is talking, saying like, did this idiot really just do that? And it sounds like, give it back to Marc. Like, what are you doing? Like Konshu's just watching all this happen. Like you're dumb. Like you are freaking dumb. Why are you here right now? And he's annoyed. It's kind of like you got this annoying kid that just keeps coming into your yard to mess with stuff. Like why are you here? Go away. Don't you got somewhere else to be? But he just keeps showing up randomly, and it's hilarious because now they have to work around it.
Because what I took away from the episode is I felt a lot like Steven. I felt like that nice guy trying to do the good thing, trying to be this good, noble person. And then you and Tony are just in the background. Like, no. You need to be doing this. No. You need to be doing that. And then next thing you know, we're just in this giant mess. And I'm just like,
oh yeah. We be the two talking crap. We be talking a lot of crap. So that's for sure. And it would be fantastic. And there's certain things that they're alluding to. Again, him being able to call upon his powers, so to speak, which is mainly just calling upon his costume at will. Of obviously, the Marc has that ability that Steven doesn't, and I love that they showed even with Steven when he was about to be judged, he couldn't be judged because there's chaos in him, which works really well for me. But that actually alludes to one of his kind of abilities, where in the comics it's hard for anybody with psychic powers or whatever to really mess with Moon Knight's head because of his fractured personalities, and they all operate independently, so they can't get a bead on him, so he's resistant to that kind of stuff. So that was a nice little setup to that, to nod to that, and I'm sure it'll play out more in the future. Again, this is a 6-episode series, so definitely got another 5, and they already got right into it. So like the next 5 episodes, we don't have to do a lot of exploratory stuff. Like we're gonna do some, I'm sure, but we're definitely gonna get a little bit more, kind of hit the ground running with this one.
One last question, then I'll just be done here. As far as Moon Knight's personality, the traits that he has, what would you say probably the one that would be labeled as pertaining to everything going on with Steven, Marc, Konshu, etc.?
Now, as far as his powers and stuff go, or like
what he's mentally struggling with, if we have to put a label on.
I mean, he's really messed up. It's all about the dissociative identity disorder. He doesn't understand what's going on. And again, I'm trying to piece it together with him because you see him having the conversations with the fish, the conversation with the other guy, like he's having a whole conversation. I don't know if he's having, conversation put back into his head. If he's got someone else talking to him when he's on the phone and he's talking like he's talking to his mother or something like that. I don't know. Is he talking to somebody, or is he just got the phone up to his head and he's just having a conversation with himself? We don't know exactly where his head is at. So I think it's just something that he's trying to figure out. Like he knows that he goes places. He knows that's why he has the sand, which was cleverly in the shape of the moon around the bed. He knows that he does stuff and he strains himself to the bed, but he's like, I can't figure this out. I don't know why I am the way I don't know why I'm missing time. And it's definitely something that, because Marc Specter is a Marine, and it's definitely something that brings light, because there's a lot of actual veterans and stuff that deal with this, where they have issues where they lose time or they're not able to focus on things. Like it is a very serious issue. So the fact that they're bringing this up and they're doing it in a very tactful way to kind of explain a little bit of what's going on, in simplest forms. It's nice. It's nice to see that he's still trying to function. He's still trying to live a normal life, and his boss is a complete tool. Don't care for her at all. But Steven's character is definitely a disheveled of sorts. And again, like I said, there's chaos in him. He's still struggling on the inside, trying to figure out what's going on, and only what he can kind of sort of control gets pushed to the outside, so he can control his real basic. You see, he's got a routine and stuff that he does with his tape and his shackle to the bed. Like he just controls the parts that he can to make himself feel comfortable.
Yeah, I really, really liked episode 1. I like the villain. I like the setup. I liked everything I saw. If you guys like what you see in this video here, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit that beautiful red subscribe button. Greatly appreciate you checking out all of our content. I don't really have anything else to add. I'm very much looking forward to episode number 2. What about you?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping they pick up right where it left off with, beating the crap out of somebody in the bathroom. So, like, let's go.
All right. For Geek Variants, I've been Brent. This is Will. You know what to do.